Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends Series Z Retro Secret Wars Wave Wolverine. It is the 40th anniversary of the original Secret Wars from 1984. So we have this wave of figures. So Spider-Man, Wolverine, Captain America, Iron Man, and Titania, and the Beyonder. I got my figures from toysnowman.com. I initially got 4 figures: Spider-Man, Wolverine, Captain America, and Titania. I just placed an order last night for Beyonder and Iron Man. Looks like those just became in stock recently. So they have almost the entire wave, just not Spider-Man. Spider-Man is sold out, but Wolverine is in stock. So link in the video description below, which is my referral link, which will give you a 5% off coupon code for new accounts. So new users, new buyers, first-time buyers, 5% off coupon code if you're looking to get your orders in. So toysnowman.com for Wolverine. So very exciting here. We have this Wolverine. It is a brown suit, not quite the brown suit that we may be used to. I don't have the vintage wave Wolverine, vintage wave 1. It is a slightly lighter brown than this. I don't have a open one. I have it on card only. So it'd be kind of the cross between this super light reddish brown and then the dark brown. This one's going to be more of an homage to the toy line. Now, in the comics, it looks like the brown is a little bit more actual brown. But the original toy by Mattel, the Secret Wars that this is paying homage to with the card back and everything, that figure was basically this color. Like the stripe on the suit was even thinner. Like it was kind of crazy. So that is kind of the difference. That's what's going on with this figure here. So very exciting. We get that shield little gimmick thing with the lenticular hologram. We got Wolverine and Logan, and then you get that swappable one for the Secret Wars 40. Now my understanding is that these are actually stickers, so if you wanted to remove those, you could do that. We get the unmasked head sculpt, 2 new head sculpts by that, and then we get the clawed hands. This is essentially a repaint of the Xmen 97 Wolverine, by the way. You know what? The arms might be different. I'll have to take a look at that. But the legs are going to be the same. The torso has always kind of been Wolverine torso. We've always gotten that. Looking at the back of the card, there we get some artwork of Wolverine. As you can see, it's a little bit of darker brown, a little bit thicker in there. We get the cross-sell for all the figures in the wave. We see how that shield gimmick works. And then his bio reads, on a patchwork battle world, Wolverine fights a raging war alongside the X-Men, but is wary of forging alliances outside of his trusted fellow mutants. So there we go. Without further ado, let's get Wolverine out of the package. Hey guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button now. Help me reach my goal of 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're about 1,200 away. We only have a month and a half or so to do it. So with your help, we can make that goal. But if you haven't already and you're a fan of my action figure reviews and my channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button now. Okay, so here is the Wolverine figure out of the package, and you know what? The color's really throwing me off. This orange, like, it's more an orange than a brown. And again, homage to the original toy way back when by Mattel, the Secret Wars line. But man, it's just really throwing me off, it not really being a brown color. But maybe we will get a brown suit. Like, we have it confirmed that there is an X-Men 97 Wave 3. Maybe we will get a brown suit Wolverine. Like, we're gonna get a Wolverine. Like, we have to get a Wolverine, right? I've heard rumblings of a Logan figure instead of a Wolverine, like in his, probably like the plaid shirt. They could go that route, but I would hope that they would just give us a repaint of this and give us the brown suit, or basically a repaint of this and give us the brown suit. That would be cool, but you know, time will tell and we shall see. This Wolverine figure comes with the 2 clawed hands, and then we get the fists, and then we get the unmasked head sculpt, and we have the shield thing. So we looked at the Spider-Man shield, and this is basically the same thing, but the C-clip is different. As you can see, that C-clip is much bigger to accommodate Wolverine's larger arms. At first, I was worried about that. I was thinking, he doesn't have grip hands, so he can't grip that peg, and the C-clip would be too small. But the cool thing is they did this to where they can change out this C-clip and provide different sizes. Now, if only all the Captain America shields could have this larger C-grip, and it might already, I don't know, but these things are still fragile and I don't like them. But it is bigger for Wolverine, which is good. And then you have the Logan, you got Wolverine. You got Logan, you got Wolverine. You got Logan, you got Wolverine. And then you could swap this out with the Secret Wars 40th anniversary. So we're going to go ahead and do that, get that out of the way, because I'm not a fan of this shield. I understand, you know, it's, again, homage to the original toys that had this. Do that. And again, if you carefully peel this back, I guess these are actually stickers. So if you wanted to use them as a sticker, you could do that. But you got these little cut-ins there, and then you got these little tabs in there to kind of get them to hold in place the way you want them to. So you can do that, and bam, close this up, close it up, and then you've got your shield there. So that's all that I'm going to show of that, because I'm not a fan of this. I get it. It's just too gimmicky for me. I don't really find it necessary. So there's Wolverine. Let's go ahead and zoom in for a closer look. Okay, so here's an up-close look at the Wolverine head sculpt. He's got that little grin on there. And I've seen mixed reviews in the comments, like on Instagram, on what people think of it. I think it looks pretty good. I think at certain angles it may look a little bit wonky. Straight on, maybe it looks a little, you know, not quite symmetrical, but like from an angle, I think it looks really good. From the side, it looks really good. I mean, even from the front, I think it looks pretty good, but I can understand that people are just not liking it. But I love that it's different from the typical stoic Wolverine head sculpts that we've always gotten. So, you know, this is a little bit of a change up, and to me, it's a welcome change up. So I like that we get something different. If you look, the cowl, those back portion, horns, ears, whatever you want to call them, they flare out like crazy. Look how big they go. They're soft. They're a little pokey, but they're soft. They can kind of move around. They might warp, so just be careful with that. But they are crazy big. I don't know that I'm the biggest fan of that. That's kind of my only gripe with them, but other than that, I think it looks pretty good, and the grin's cool. The unmasked head sculpt, though, is a little bit weird to me. The skin tone seems a bit soft, and it just looks a little off, and then the way his hair is just really throwing me for a loop. It doesn't look bad. It's just kind of, just strange a little bit. It's got a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow, and I didn't really mention that. He's got crazy, 5 o'clock shadow on the masked head sculpt. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I think we've gotten better. Even this one I think is better, although this one, was a little bit soft in the skin tone too. This one is a little bit more pink, as you can see. So the skin tone just seems a little bit off. Other than that, it's okay. It's not my favorite. The way his hair is, I like it, usually when it's kind of crazy outwards. This one kind of seems in a little bit. Just not my preference. It's not bad. Just, it's just not my favorite. I like the Xmen 97 one I like, but this one just the most different to me, and just not the biggest fan. Looking at the rest of the figure, again, we have essentially the Xmen 97 Wolverine figure, but there is one little difference. Because the yellow suit has these shoulder pads on there, the shoulders on this Wolverine are different. And one thing that's kind of driving me crazy on the shoulders of this Wolverine, I don't know what shoulders these are. These shoulders obviously had hair that weren't painted. What the hell was Hasbro doing? And then it also has the peg holes in for those shoulder pads. So obviously not the same shoulders. If I look at the old school brown suit Wolverine, it's like, okay, maybe it's those ones. Well, no, because these shoulders are tiny compared to these big ass shoulder balls of that old one. And then looking at the hinge is the clear tell, because look how deep down that hinge goes to allow some crazy movement on that shoulder, right? So it is not the same there. It's not the same shoulders from the House of 10, or Powers of 10, House of X Wolverine. It's not even the same Wolverine here from the 50th anniversary Wolverine figure, where I figured it could be, because this one doesn't have sculpted arm hair, so maybe it was this one. It's not. As you can see, the shoulders are different, and these ones are larger. So I think these shoulders are new, which I find a bit odd that they would even go through the steps to make a new one, unless they were used on a figure that was not Wolverine and I'm just not placing it, which absolutely could be the case. So it is throwing me off a little bit that those shoulders are smaller, and I don't know if that's to prevent the shoulders from sticking out a little too far, which I think it does. If I look and compare now, these shoulders come out way too far, right? It looks almost weird, kind of, right? And not that Hasbro's done a great job always in this area. Spider-Man 2099 figures, the shoulders are low, and people are just now realizing it seems. But in my opinion, this looks a little bit more natural. Even though they look small, it's kind of funky. But from an overall aesthetic, when you look at the whole entire area as a whole, I think it ends up looking pretty good. But again, just throwing me off because they are in fact different. We do get that sculpted arm hair. Arms is from the Xmen 97 figure, but they're painted this time. So I'm always a fan of the painted arm hair. We've gotten a lot of Wolverine figures where they were sculpted and they didn't paint it, or there was no sculpt and they painted it, which I'm okay with too, because we've had that before and I don't have a problem. But when you sculpt the hair, paint the hair, because then it just looks better. Or just don't sculpt the hair at all, however, but we did get that this go around, and then again, much orange instead of brown. It just drives me crazy. The hands, the claws are all the same from X-Men 97. The belt is in fact different though. A little bit of gold on there on that red belt. But that is our Wolverine figure. So now let's go ahead and zoom out for the articulation, which we should all be very familiar with on these Wolverine figures. Okay, so Wolverine's articulation, his head is on a disc hinge, so he can look up that much there, which works out. He can look down that much there all the way, which is good. You get a full rotation in that head sculpt. Of course, there's not really any pivot going on in there, unfortunately. The shoulders, you can see, you can go straight on out, and then you can get it to go upwards a little bit because they got that deep hinge in there. Full rotation, even though it's a little stiff. We got the butterfly joint on Wolverine, so you can get that arm to go back really far, which is great. Crossbody, you can get to go forward, and some crossbody, as you can see there. Not a huge amount, but you can do some, so that is good. You got the upper bicep swivel on that massive biceps of Wolverine. Double jointed pinless elbow gives you that much bend there at the elbow. Wrist swivel, and they do hinge, standard horizontal hinge on the clawed hands, as well as the regular fists, popped claws. You have ab crunch, so he can crunch forward that much there. He can go back a little bit. You got a waist swivel in there. You just kind of have to adjust and move that belt around as needed to be able to use that waist swivel. Legs go out that far apart. You can do the full splits, which is kind of crazy. He can kick forward very far, as you can see there. The leg does go back a little bit of a ways, which is nice. You got upper thigh cut in there. Double jointed pinless knee, so that much bend there at the knee. You do have a boot swivel on this guy, unlike the astonishing X-Men Wolverine. So boot swivel in there, foot hinges down all the way. You get some hinge up, ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So articulation that we know and love for Wolverine. Maybe one day we'll get a ball joint waist, or astonishing X-Men Wolverine will get diaphragm cut, inverted ab. Maybe one day, but for now, I think this does work out well. How far we've come with Marvel Legends. While the torso may be the exact same, there are obviously some differences made throughout the years. The torso works well. I don't know that we need another one, but new typically most of the time is always better. So I wouldn't mind seeing a new torso. I mean, we got that with the Astonishing X-Men Wolverine, but that's going to be specific to Astonishing X-Men and not necessarily just a good standard Wolverine. So we get the same torso, and I'm not even mad at it. It works. So that is the brown suit. And again, there is a lighter brown version. I don't have an open one. I have the vintage Wave 1 figure that is still on card. It is a lighter brown than this, so it would be the cross between these two. But then that's older, doesn't have the nice face paint, or they didn't really even give him any face paint at all. There, and then here, X-Men 97, you can see it's essentially the same figure. It uses almost all the same parts. The shoulders are going to be different, the belt is different, and the head sculpts are different, but other than that, it's essentially the same figure. This Secret Wars Wolverine figure was teased at San Diego Comic-Con on that last day of Comic-Con on the Sunday, and Unparalleled Universe was kind of the first to get to see it and then post about it. So that was the tease, and then on a fan stream, I think, is where they revealed the entire Secret Wars wave. So there we go. That's the history of this Wolverine's announcement. Okay, so that is my review of the Wolverine figure. You guys let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of it? Are you going to be picking it up, or is that orange, super light, reddish brown throwing you off? Again, homage to the Mattel figure. At least they didn't make this portion like super thin, just like it was on that original toy. Yes, they made it thinner than it should be based on the comics, but again, the toy was like super thin. It's kind of crazy. A good Wolverine figure, not the brown suit that I think a lot of people would kind of want. But hey, it kind of gets us there, gets us a little bit closer. But you guys let me know down in the comments below your thoughts. If you're looking to pick this up, again, I got mine from toysnowman.com. It is currently in stock right now. So link in the video description below. That is my referral link. For new accounts, you get a 5% off coupon code. Toy Snowman is based in Canada, just a heads up on that. But they ship everywhere. So check them out, toysnowman.com. Link in the video description below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe. That's super important to me to hit that 50,000 subscriber by the end of the year. It's a goal of mine. I would love to make it, and I think we can do it. But again, I need your help if you haven't already. So hit that subscribe button now. Thanks, guys.